they hear what the people they talk. What you get, I shall kill it till love. This is love, and I wanna get another one. I go take and do waiting I love, waiting you love. Oh, no be waiting I love. Oh, waiting I love. I go do what we do. I go no be vodka. Mr. Money Ginger, but I know I know the ways that Mr.
You've been gone, it's an empty home. Come on back where you really belong. You are always welcome home, welcome home. You've been kept down for much too long. Stand up, please, and say I am free. Don't forget you are welcome home, welcome home. Come with me on this happy trip back to the promised land. On this happy trip back to the promised land.
Welcome to another exciting edition of Conversation Beyond Borders. We are streaming live on HYT African TV and across all social media platforms, including my personal page, Kiki Mami Ikuya Ayete. Tonight, we are honored to welcome a remarkable woman whose journey reflects leadership, service, and dedication to the people of Ghana. And before I introduce my guest to you for tonight, let's go for a quick commercial break and we will be right back.
Every black person should please remember that you were Africans before you became anything else.
Revolve is a media technology company that specializes in providing music, entertainment, and lifestyle content from around the world. It is driven by a mission to offer the best music, entertainment, and lifestyle experiences for a global audience, as well as a vision to become the foremost global provider of music and entertainment content with a focus on Africa and black communities across the world. We curate content and personalized recommendations based on user consumption habits, and is well positioned to capture the growing demand for African music and entertainment content. Revolve appeals to both the underground and mainstream audiences who are interested in African music, entertainment and lifestyle, and the black culture movement, with a target audience of ambitious, creative, aspirational, social media savvy, ethical, sociable, yet independently minded individuals. Our platforms allow users to access a diverse range of music and lifestyle related content, including news, videos, gossip, performance series, podcast conversations, documentaries, festival content, artist reviews, and many more through the following categories and brand names: RV Daily, RV Unmute, Vibes Up, Reveal, Verve, and Revolve Plus.
Your friend to join in this interesting conversation. Our guest today is Honorable Betty Crosby Mensah. She is the former Member of Parliament for Afram Plains, and also currently a senior technical advisor to the Ministry of Sports. But then we'll ask her about that if she's still in service. Honorable Betty Crosby Mensah has served with passion and commitment, championing the voices of her constituents and contributing to national development through her hard work in public service. And so tonight we will have an insightful conversation with her about her journey, the development of Afram Plains, the impact of a key project on the Echi Amanfo Bridge, and her vision for Ghana's future. Honorable, welcome to Conversation Beyond Borders. It is a pleasure to have
you. My beautiful Kiki, it's a pleasure to see you. Thank you very much for having me on your program.
You are welcome. Could you please introduce yourself and also your journey through Parliament?
Yeah, so
where you are.
As you rightly said, my name is Honorable Betty Crosby Mensah. I am a former Member of Parliament for the good people of Afram Plains North. In fact, a two-term Member of Parliament. I was in the 7th Parliament of the 4th Republic and the 8th Parliament as well. Unfortunately for me, I won the 2023 primaries of the NDC, but unfortunately lost the general elections to an independent candidate who had been in the system for some time. But also good, that is what it is. I call myself a professional politician, and when we talk about politics, it comes with winning some and losing some, and so it is what it is. Over the past 1 year, I served as the Senior Technical Advisor to the Minister for Sports and National Recreation, as well as the National Coordinator for National Recreation and Wellness Program under the Ministry of Sports and Recreation. Running up to the elections to be run by the NDC, I'm sure we are all aware of the clear guidelines that were presented by the party, that people who show interest to contest for party positions should put down or lay down their tools 6 months prior to the elections. And so at this moment, I'm happy to inform you that I'm no longer the National Coordinator for National Recreations and Wellness Program of the Ministry of Sports, because I have decided that clearly when the party, that is the only political party, as I often call it, the NDC, finally opens nomination for people to contest for various political party positions, I have expressed interest to contest for the position of the National Women Organizer of the NDC. And so being in a month of July, I thought that I just fit right in the party's guideline to tender in my resignation. But I am happy to be here, and so far it's the journey has been exciting. I call myself a professional politician. I started way back in my secondary school days, right up to my tertiary education, where I had my HND in accountancy at the Koforidua Polytechnic. In fact, I am proud to say that we were the pioneers of the Koforidua Polytechnic team, that is the tertiary education institution network, of which at the time there was no wing in Koforidua Poly. And so myself and a few other close friends came up and established the Koforidua Polytechnic team in the year 2000. It didn't end there. I played various active roles within my community, that is in the Afram Plains North, where finally in 2008 I worked seriously to support the NDC running up to the 2008 elections, serving as polling agents, the polling station supervisor in time under the supervision of the national organizer, Honorable Ofosu Ampofo in time. After the party formed government in 2009, I was appointed as the deputy national coordinator for National Youth Employment Program in the year 2009. And right then, in 2010, in the wisdom of His Excellency Fifi Atta Mills, he decided that there was a need for more district assemblies to be demarcated, of which my constituency was also demarcated as a new district. And so there was a vacancy for an appointment for the position of a district chief executive, and my humble self applied for the position. Unfortunately, the back and forth, I didn't get the favor of then the sitting MP, who happened to, he's late, Honorable Abuaji Didier. I didn't find favor in him, and so he did everything to ensure that I wasn't given the opportunity to serve as the district chief executive of my district. And he made statements such as the people of Afram Plains didn't know who Betty Cross-Mensah was, and so if the party made a mistake by presenting me, he was going to do everything possible to ensure that the assembly members, voted against me. And that common or simple statement was what inspired me to contest for the position of an MP, because clearly when it comes to appointment, government appointment, that is the sole responsibility of the president. But when it comes to an elected position such as being a member of parliament, I believe strongly that we leave it to the masses of our communities to make. And so I felt that if then the MP felt the people didn't know me and wouldn't accept me, then it was time for me to prove to him that I was more popular in the constituency that he served than he was. And so in 2011 I contested the MP, and unfortunately I lost to him at the primaries. I think he actually proved the point, but I lost to him by 23 votes, and I was very proud of myself. Kiki, let me say that most often when women are put in this kind of challenges, because of course we know a lot of women struggle in their quest to attain political power. In my case, I had a number of challenges, but they never deterred me. It was rather an inspiration. And so I went all out, and I actually gave him a run for his money. But unfortunately, I lost to him, but became extremely popular within my constituency. And so in the year 2015, when the party again opened for nomination for people to present themselves, again showed up, and then the people of Afram Plains gave me the nod to be the NDC's parliamentary candidate in the year 2016, of which I finally won and became the member of parliament to serve the people in the year 2017. And so again, when I got to parliament, through my hard work, how versatile I presented myself, I was appointed as a committee member on gender, children and social protection of parliament. I again served as a committee member on works and housing, and interestingly, I was voted as the vice president of Young Parliamentarians Forum, which was an IPU, interparliamentarian union, an IPU program that I was elected as the vice president, which I plus in relation with the president, then we worked hand in hand to promote the Young Parliamentarian Ghana branch to the Interparliamentarian Union Africa and International. And so all in all, I have served in my second term, that is during the 8th Parliament. Again, I wasn't just appointed as the committee member on gender, children and social protection. I was actually appointed as the deputy ranking. So in terms of leadership, when you are in opposition, it's either ranking or deputy ranking. And when you are in government, you are either a chairperson or a vice chairperson. And so at the time, my political party was in opposition. So I was appointed by my caucus to serve as the ranking on the Committee of Gender, Children and Social Protection. Again, I am happy to say that one of the longest bills in Parliament, which happens to be the Affirmative Action Bill, Gender Equality, which has been in the premises or in the archives of Parliament for over 20 years, during my lead, including the ranking at the time, who was in the person of Honorable Helen Ntosuo, within our time, with the support, supervision, and the guidance of the Speaker, Right Honorable Bagbin, we were able to finally pass this long-standing bill, the Affirmative Action Gender Equality, into law. So by the year ending 2024, Ghana, we have the very first law that deliberately protects the rights and interests of women, and that pushes women into various leadership or positions and opportunities. I am excited. I am looking forward to a new a new challenge. And as a politician that I find myself as I am, we're not giving up, and God being on our side, I would say that by the grace of God, we also have age on our side, and so we'll continue to fight with the common objective of serving the good people of Ghana, with the common objective to ensure that we are able to add our contributions and our voices to the development agenda of this country. My main focus as a person is to fight social injustice within our communities. Of course, when it comes to our developing countries, developing economies like our own, a lot of social injustices are found. And of course, I want to be the voice that is able to speak out, that is able to voice and point out issues of injustices that I believe that we can use the proper ways of addressing most of these social challenges.
Great. You seem to have a lot of achievements, and also your journey in politics has highs and lows. So leaving Parliament, how has that experience shaped your outlook on leadership and service, considering the fact that you are finding fit in a new chapter, like you have stated your intention to become the women organizer for the NDC?
I'll tell you, indeed, Parliament was a bigger platform and a very strong one, where people with opinions like myself had the opportunity to express it and to make that change that we see as fit. However, coming from a very difficult constituency like my own, I do not have the skill to measure other constituencies. But tell you what, Kiki, my constituency in terms of landmark is 1/3 of the Eastern region. So you do your calculation. The Eastern region holds a total of 33 constituencies. Afram Plains, which is 1/3 in terms of land, holds only 2 constituencies. So it gives you an idea of how vast the place is, with over 575 communities and approximately 232 communities identified on the Volta Lake. My people or my constituents are not around the Volta Lake. They live on various islands, so many scattered islands on the Volta Lake. The last part of my constituency shares boundary with the Sene district, so that is in the Bono region. And so just think about Afram Plains being located in the Eastern region and sharing boundary with the Bono region. It's quite vast. Again, for me to be able to assess the people of Afram Plains, sometimes I needed to travel on the Volta Lake without any proper means of transport for over 9 to 10 hours before I am able to assess my people. I love my people, I love my community, and I work with passion. However, I must say that I do not have any regret at all. The people entrusted me with power. They gave me the opportunity to serve continuously for 8 years, and I continue to appreciate their trust and their confidence in me. Losing out in 2024 election hasn't brought any regret at all. I feel that, look, there was more we could have done, or there is more to do. However, I still have the privilege to continue to serve in other areas of public service and other areas of interest. I do not miss Parliament at all, with the exception that I said Parliament is a bigger platform to be able to express your views. But fast forward, I have also identified myself with the NDC communication team, and so it makes it very easy for me to, at every point in time when I feel that there are some issues of social injustice, there are political issues, there are issues that genuinely need to be talked about, that needed women's voices to also be heard. I think I haven't lost out on that one, and so I am still very focused, and I am excited to be within this space.
Thank you very much for that. Now, looking back of years representing the people of Afram Plains, I mean, you gave us a number that is quite remarkable. What achievement or legacy gives you the greatest sense of pride and fulfillment?
Kiki, I think that when it comes to my service to the people of Afram Plains, I am quite very proud of the number of achievements and successes that I chalked. Indeed, it might not be much, because if you look at the deplorable nature of the place, the poverty, but I am very excited that I was able to create the needed awareness. Just 3 days ago, we all happened to listen to the mid-year budget being read by the Minister for Finance, clearly where it was stated that by the end of the year 2028, there will be a completed bridge constructed on the Afram River. And if you go into the archives, you realize that those were some of the advocates that I championed over the years. At a time, I was able to do a number of statements on the floor of Parliament to draw government and public attention to how Afram Plains had been cut off as a result of the sacrifices of the people of Afram Plains. If you know the history of Ghana very well, the Afram River used to be a stream, a very small stream, of which my mom told me that people could just walk across it to their farms, to their various homes and things like that. But for the goodness of our first president, His Excellency President Kwame Nkrumah, who established and constructed the Akosomo Dam, leading to the overflood of the Akosomo, and by so creating the Afram River to where it is now. And so the sacrifices, the people of Afram Plains, our lands were taken by those water bodies, and a lot more that the people lost. They lost their homes, they lost their properties, just so the bigger picture, which is electrification, could come to the people of Ghana. And after so many years of this sacrifice, you'll be surprised to know that when it comes to real development, I have traveled the length and breadth of Ghana. However, I am still convinced that Afram Plains is one of the least developed constituencies in the country, and to think of the sacrifices the people of Afram Plains made. And so within my tenure, I made a lot of arguments, and I was able to bring a lot of these issues to light, so that generally people will appreciate the sacrifices made by the people of Afram Plains and the current situation. And so today, if the government in power sees the need, and I remember at a point an amount of money that was allocated for the construction of the road was redirected for the construction of the Konongo Road, of which I made so much noise about it, and I got a lot of support from the then minority, which was my party. And so today it's not a surprise at all that Honorable Kwame Agboja, Honorable Atufo, they're very young men. We were in Parliament who supported me in my quest and in my advocacy. Today are within government, and they see that there was a need, or there is a need for this very issue to be addressed. And not only that, clearly, if you check into the archives again, you realize that what some of the advocacies I made so much, and I'm very profound of, is on the issue of child trafficking and child labor. Of course, not that I want to throw the people of Afram Plains under the bridge, but clearly I seem to disagree with the concepts as it is designed as issues of child trafficking within the coastal areas of Afram Plains, because clearly these are, like I said, these are communities, over 233 communities on the Volta Lake, and yet when it comes to issues of educational infrastructure, we are missing out on it. When it comes to issues of healthcare, they are missing out on it. And if you are coming to issues of even employment, we're missing out on it. And so if we have international organizations who want to, quote unquote, want to look good and pure, riding all the way onto the Volta Lake and rescue in the name of rescue, but most often I termed it as kidnapping, because when you go out there and take other people's children without recourse to their parents, I term it, or without legal means, I term it as kidnapping. As at the time, I was able to throw more light on that. Now look, per the Constitution of Ghana, every child or school going age should be given basic free education, and that is their constitutional right. And so if such communities do not have access to education, and we have NGOs, we have civil society organizations that are interested in holding anybody accountable, then they should hold the government of Ghana accountable and not the victims of the situation. So these are some of the issues or advocates that I stood strongly for. And I am proud to say that in the last 4 years, the unwanted regular rescue or arrest of children on the Volta Lake has come to a minimum. I wouldn't say absolutely has come to an end, but I think that it has been minimized. I am proud to also say that within my tenure, those communities without infrastructure, I built over 21 pavilions, which were not outstanding school buildings, but they were pavilions that when parents want to go to their farms, want to go to the market, they had a place to go take their children to. Again, there were so many other things that I supported by the people I projected, and just a few months ago, over 150 children that I supported in the program of skills development and skill training, they have been able to pass out through the training, and today I'm sure they all have their basic trade at their hands that they can use for economic gains. I am happy through it all. My government, the NDC, also enlisted it in their manifesto to promote skills development and skills training. So today we are hearing of skills development, skills training, but some of us started it before the government came into power. So I'm really happy about some of this achievement. We can continue to talk about it. And our hospital, the district hospital, which had been in service for over 40 years, I am happy to say that I am the first MP to have presented 2 incubators, because at the time when a mother goes through premature birth, the mother and the child will have to cross the Afram River or the Volta Lake all the way to Nkoko before they can receive medical treatment. But through this initiative, I was able to provide the hospital with incubators, which today I'm happy to say that they are still serving a good cause to the people of Afram Plain. And so this and many other things that I was able to bring to the people, the young people that I was able to support in their tertiary and basic education. I am excited to say that they are doing amazingly well. I still, even though I'm not the member of parliament, as a former member of parliament, I still look out for their interest. There are a few young people that I'm still supporting at the university, because I want to see that we are able to have shining stars coming from Afram Plains, people who the younger generation can also look up to as role models. So we'll continue to support the community.
Great. So before we get into the big push project about the bridge construction, can I ask that, in your view, what distinguishes an outstanding member of parliament, because you've been one, from the one who simply occupies the office?
Well, I would say that members of parliament come from various constituencies, because it's the constituencies that makes up the country. So the country has been demarcated into various constituencies. It will be very difficult for me as a member of Afram Plains, or as the MP for Afram Plains, to move. It's okay to discuss issues of social interest, but it will be very difficult for me to move away from issues that concerns me to probably discuss issues that are within other people's constituency, because I believe that when all the 276 members of parliament are drawing attentions to the peculiar challenges within their constituencies or their district, that is where we have a holistic situation and we are able to address our challenges as a country. And so I would say that what distinguishes a hard-working an outstanding member of parliament is somebody who really is down to earth, first and foremost with his or her constituents, who listens, who is able to identify the core challenges of the constituency and is able to draw it on the floor of parliament. Of course, people will say that the core mandate of a member of parliament is legislation, which is, I absolutely agree. But it is out of the common challenges that we are able to bring together that we are able to develop, or better still, we are able to establish laws around them. And so it's very important that we are able to bring out the various community or constituency challenges to the fore, so that we can address them holistically as a nation. So I will go for MPs who are down to earth within their constituencies, who are willing to engage their traditional leaders, who are willing to engage with their community members to really understand the challenges within their community, so that they are empowered to represent them fairly.
Thank you, Honorable. It's getting interesting in the studios of Conversation Beyond Borders. I'll be taking a few questions later on in the comment section, so you can drop any question at all, and then we'll ask Honorable Betty Crosby Mensah. But before we get into other agendas, let's go for a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. Kindly stay with us. See you soon.
That dream of studying and working abroad has been made much accessible to everyone, including you. So worry less about how you're going to get there, because we always make it happen. This is StepFinders Ghana Limited. We offer a highly professional guidance and support system, both in your university and visa application process. StepFinders Ghana Limited is a highly trusted agency of the University of the West of Scotland, one of the largest modern universities offering a range of academic, social, and sporting facilities. You can apply for undergraduate, master's and PhD in business and creative industries, education, social sciences, computing, engineering, physical sciences, health, and life sciences. Come through StepFinders, and for your studies, you get yourself a laptop or a £500 gift voucher. Call on +233 598 4888 04. WhatsApp on +44 7404 711 049. Send us an email or visit our website for more information.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. Honorable, so you understand the challenges of the people of the Afram Plains, because of course you have served them at some point. So the construction of the Enchi Amamfro Bridge is seen as the major development project. So what impact do you believe this bridge will bring on the lives of the people of Afram Plains?
Kiki, I think it's a major and it's a huge infrastructure that the government deem it fit. And not only government, the people of Afram Plains, they deem it right to enhance on the economic activities of the area. It will not just open up the place, but to enhance the economic activities of Afram Plains. Indeed, as I earlier on stated, Afram Plains had been cut off as a result of the construction of the Akosomo Dam, and the people of Afram Plains continue to suffer. Issues of service providers, issues of I remember the last time I checked, the teacher deficit of Afram Plains was more than 513. So just imagine teacher deficit, that is at the basic level. And so these are as a result of teachers, their unwillingness because of the lack of proper transport system. Because here we are, when you get to the river bank, and you are unable to cross, or the ferry is not in proper shape, it means that if you want to visit your family members, you cannot easily cross the river or the lake. And so it makes it very unattractive for professionals to want to accept postings into areas like the Afram Plains. And so I believe strongly that it will be with the construction of the bridge, we will have some of these challenges being addressed. Again, if you check the history of Afram Plains, you realize that Afram Plains is identified as one of the food basket communities in Ghana, and yet as a result of lack of proper transport system, we have a number of perishable goods that under normal circumstances could have been sold on our markets to provide food to the general country, and yet because we are unable to transport them, they end up going bad at the other side of the lake or the river. And so strongly I am of the view that it will have the chance or the opportunity to open up the place for a bigger market for people to be able to access, and also to develop the tourist potentials of the place, because most developed countries, you realize that water body is not a disadvantage but better as an advantage, because people are able to develop tourism or tourists and other facilities around the water lake. But unfortunately, because of lack of free flow of traffic, it makes it a disservice instead of having an advantage. And so I think that in the wisdom of the current government, championing a percentage of the big push budget into constructing the bridge on the Afram River clearly shows the government's willingness to distribute the national cake fairly to people who are over the years, how I would say, have been short a change or have been disadvantaged for some time. And so yes, it's a big one for us.
All right, so let me just ask this. So having represented the people, I know you understand their struggles firsthand. So if this bridge is constructed, what must ensure that it brings long-term economic growth, better healthcare, education opportunities for the people? It's like the whole town or the whole place of Afram Plains is undergoing a reconstruction. So what can be done to ensure that it brings all the developments that you are seeking for us as a member, and also as let me say a child of the
Kiki, I don't think we really need to do much. I think the first thing to do is to get the construction of the bridge done. After that, things will take its course, because people will begin to see the viability of the place. They will begin to see the opportunities that are Afram Plains big. We do have this fertile agricultural lands in the Afram Plains. We have water bodies that we do not necessarily have to wait for seasonal rainfalls. Afram Plains, properly with the best irrigation system, can provide an all year round food stock to the people of Ghana. And so I think that after the construction, I am understanding that the construction of the bridge is going to lead to the construction of our roads, because of course we do not even have proper road network within the Afram Plains. So I'm trusting that after the construction of the bridge will lead to construction of proper roads to the people, to Afram Plains, and then it will give investors, general public, the opportunity to assess how the opportunities within the Afram Plains, how viable the place is for people to really make a proper investment for their own economic gains. Because trust me, there's a lot hidden in the Afram Plains, and I can assure you that the only obstacle, the only thing hindering the people of Afram Plains is proper roads and the water body, that we do not have proper means of transport to be able to have free flow of traffic.
Okay, Honorable. So I always ask my guests this question, and as a woman and also a politician in a male-dominated party, what does the NDC actually mean to you?
Come again, my dear.
So I was asking, as a woman and also a politician in a male-dominated party like the National Democratic Congress, what does the NDC actually mean to you?
Kiki, as you already know, the NDC is a social democratic party. And the principles of social democracy brings about equality. I'm sure you know about that. And so I am proud to belong to a political party that sees the need for inclusivity. They believe strongly that when issues are addressed by both genders, both men and women, then we can have holistic way of addressing our general issues. And so my political party, with the principles of social democracy, sees to it that women's voices are heard. Of course, there are so many things that my party over the years have initiated to ensure that more women or women's voices generally are recognized. And I must say that I am proud to say that for the very first time, we as a political party have presented the first ever female vice president of the Republic of Ghana. We have our history. The first ever female speaker of parliament again was presented by the NDC, and so we continue to channel out some of these successes because we believe in what women brings to the table, and we continue to do that. Today we are not so proud of the numbers in terms of women representation in parliament, because the total representation of women, I think today, is around 14.9%. But then, not forgetting that the current NDC presents the largest of the numbers of a total of 21 women, which has never happened within any political party. And so I am proud to belong to this political party that acknowledges and recognizes that what men can do, women can do, and it can do extremely better. And we continue to also fight. Today, we are proud that with the affirmative action, it's not going to be just 14.9%. Very soon, we should be able to fight through constructive constitutional or legal means. We should be able to increase the numbers to have a fair representation of women. And so I want to use the opportunity to advise other young women who are upcoming politicians that, look, if you are a woman and you find yourself, or you want to harness politics as a profession, then the best political party to affiliate or to align with is the NDC, because the NDC gives women that opportunity to really shine and to also contribute to the economic discussions and social discussions of this country. And so, yes, I am proud to be a member of the NDC. I continue to stand for the party and stand with the party because I believe in what the NDC stands for.
Thank you, Honorable. Honorable, you've publicly expressed your intention to contest for the position of the National Women's Organizer. If I may ask, what inspired this decision, and why do you believe this is the right time for you to take on this responsibility?
Kiki, that statement is conditional. Please remember that.
Okay, I stand to be
because until the party lifts the ban and allows people to contest, I do not have the rights to express. So it's a conditional statement that as and when
sure. Thanks for the correction. But in case
I don't want you to get me in trouble.
Okay, I'll pass that. What advice would you give to, like you said earlier, what advice, because many women want to enter politics, but are sometimes discouraged by the financial barriers, intimidations, and also limited opportunities. So as a leader, what advice will you give to such a person to remove or overcome these obstacles and also to nurture the next generation of future leaders?
Okay, so Kiki, your earlier question, the condition is that as and when the party, grants or lifts the ban for anybody to express interest, I will definitely go for the position of the National Women Organizer. And I'm inspired I am inspired with the background of where I'm coming from, as having served as a 2-term member of parliament, having sat through the creation and the establishment and the passage of the law that deliberately provides some protection and privileges to the rights of women. Again, we are not so proud as women where we are. We think that, look, if we're talking about a country with more than 51% being women, it is just right that women are given the opportunity to express their views. It is only when women are, have a voice that decisions that are taken will represent women's interests and women's views. I don't foresee, for instance, there are certain biological challenges that as women we go through, and that it's only women that can understand and can take decisions in relation to some of these challenges. And so I do not necessarily agree that only men or men are the right people to be making some of these decisions for us. As I often say that if women are not given the opportunity to sit on the decision making table, then who is going to make decisions that concerns women? Because we cannot trust men to make decisions that affect you and I. So it's just right that women are given the opportunity to sit on the decision making table. Again, with that experience, having sat and having been part of the Committee of Gender, Children and Social Protection, now I do not think that it is proper for us to allow the law to sit on our shelves to dust. It is important that we make deliberate effort to see to the proper enforcement and implementation of the law. And who better can do that than members who were part of the very establishment of the law? And so I feel the time is now. Again, when it comes to the political setting, women play a very important role in the time of mobilization, right from the campaign time till now. And unfortunately, when it comes to forming governments, women play a very minute or minority role. And so I think the time has come that whilst we are doing the mobilization, it's the majority of women that show up during mobilization should equally be given the opportunity and be given the recognition and acknowledgement with the empowerment and capacity to also serve. So that is how, based on this background, I feel that I have the experience and I have what it takes to really represent women and ensure that a fair number of women are given the opportunity to allow their voices to be heard.
Thank you, and thanks for the correction as well.
No, you are right. It's just unless you have the background, I don't want to get in trouble with Honorable Fifi Kwete.
I understand, and thank you for the correction. Thank you so much. Yeah. So I was saying that many women want to enter politics. You clearly stated some of the facts, but still a lot of them are discouraged by financial barriers, intimidations, and also limited opportunities. So as a woman, a mother, as a woman that have served in parliament, and also you've played key roles in shaping girls and also women, how would you ensure, what are some of the initiatives that you think will ensure that is going to help remove all these obstacles and also nurture the next generation of female leaders?
You are very right, my dear. In fact, when it comes to challenges associated with women showing interest in politics and leadership, it's something that has always been there, and it takes very strong-willed women to be able to overcome those hurdles. And I will say that the first thing to be looking out for is for one's self-development. When we talk of self-development, I'm talking about building your capacity. You don't wait for people to hand over opportunities to you. You prepare yourself to take over those opportunities. Again, I would say that it is important for women to also develop their social capital, which is my biggest achievement. Because it is easy for people to say that within our political system, it has been monetized without having enough financial resources, it makes it next to impossible for anybody to veer into political space. But one area that people often do not look at is developing one social capital. That is the voluntary services you provide within your communities, the things that you do that you think nobody is watching, the things that you do that you do not directly get any gains or any rewards for it. I believe that when we continue to provide those voluntary services, it goes a long way of selling us to our community and to the general public that these are people who are willing and ready to serve. And so whilst we are looking at financial obstacles, I believe that anytime family members, friends sees that this is a woman or this is a person who genuinely is interested in serving, they automatically also come on board to serve you. I tell you what, I using myself as an example. In the year 2011, when I contested for the primaries and I lost, indeed I was the deputy national coordinator for youth employment. I had a lot of network, I had a lot of resources, and I really gave out my best. But guess what? In the year 2015, I had lost my job because of a number of indictment cases against the youth employment in those days. And so I was unemployed. I only had my corner shop, which I continued to operate, which I'm very proud of. And it didn't have enough resources to fund my political journey, I must say. But at a point, I had a number of people from my community calling me and telling me that, Madam, the things you have done for us over the years, we have not forgotten. And so we are promising you that this time around, we are going to reward you for your effort. And trust me, Kiki, my second bid in 2015, I did not have the financial backing. But through this goodwill, the people of Afram Place genuinely supported me and gave me the opportunity to serve. And so, whilst we are looking, we cannot rule out issues of money. But trust me, the social capital gain sometimes outshines the financial challenges.
Right, thank you very much. So, Honorable, is there any government policy or initiative that particularly excites you, and why, under the 24-hour economy?
I'll tell you what, NDC through its manifesto in 2024 won massively the support and the votes of the larger population of Ghana. I showed that we did really have exciting policies within the manifesto that warmed the people's hearts. And particularly, I'll tell you, having served with the Ministry of Sports, there are two areas that excites me, that I appreciate so much. And that has nothing to do with the 24-hour economy. That has nothing to do with the big push agenda. But that has everything to do with our health. And so within the NDC policy, we now currently have the Ghana Medical, that is the Mahama Care.
Yeah.
The Mahama Care. That takes care of, these are policies that takes care of critical illness in the country. Trust me, we have a lot of our human resources going down the drain simply because one cannot afford to take care of certain critical illness. And so for a government to feel that, look, we want to save some resources, some money to be able to take care of Ghanaians who under normal circumstances do not have the financial muscle to take care of their health. I think this is such an outstanding, it's a government for the people, and a government that thinks about the well-being of the people. We have a common saying that your health is your wealth. And so when the government again decided to move the Ministry of Youth and Sports to the Ministry of Sports and National Recreation, again, we haven't given the government applause enough, because genuinely we haven't been able to publicize it and really let people understand what this policy really means. It's basically on preventive health, where research shows that over 45% of deaths recorded in this country over 45% of death recorded in Ghana are as a result of non-communicable diseases. And the government, under the leadership of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, believes that non-communicable diseases are diseases that are curable, that are preventable through active life. And so we have introduced the National Recreation and Wellness Program just so we will able to inculcate the habit of active living among Ghanaians, irrespective of your gender, irrespective of your age, irrespective of your ability or your disability. The focus is for us to inculcate the idea that, look, after sitting down after every 1 hour, one should be seen as moving, one should be active, one should watch the kind of food you take in. At a certain age, you know what time you can eat heavy carbohydrate food and when you should not. These are educational materials that is based or that focuses on preventive health. And I feel that this country can never do better if the population or the larger population is not healthy. And so if a government comes with a policy that looks at the well-being and the health, the healthy lifestyle of the people, then I think that, to me as a person, it excites me. It shows how committed, it shows how the well-being of Ghanaians are at the center focus of this government. And to me, that is what I stand for. I believe that with the infrastructure challenges, with the economic challenges, as long as our human resources are well and very are healthy and well developed, we'll be able to achieve and we'll get there.
Thank you so much. Dear viewers, it's still getting excited and heated here. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this short break.
Every black person should please remember that you were Africans before you became anything else.
Revolve is a media technology company that specializes in providing music, entertainment, and lifestyle content from around the world. It is driven by a mission to offer the best music, entertainment, and lifestyle experiences for a global audience, as well as a vision to become the foremost global provider of music and entertainment content with a focus on Africa and black communities across the world. We curate content and personalized recommendations based on user consumption habits, and is well positioned to capture the growing demand for African music and entertainment content. Revolve appeals to both the underground and mainstream audiences who are interested in African music, entertainment and lifestyle, and the black culture movement, with a target audience of ambitious, creative, aspirational, social media savvy, ethical, sociable, yet independently minded individuals. Our platforms allow users to access a diverse range of music and lifestyle related content, including news, videos, gossip, performance series, podcast conversations, documentaries, festival content, artist reviews, and many more through the following categories and brand names: RV Daily, RV Unmute, Vibes Up, Reveal, Verve, and Revolve Plus.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Honorable, the external branches here in Europe currently undergoing their internal elections. And so even though healthy competition is part of democracy and unity is also equally important, what message would you like to leave with your comrades here in the diaspora who are contesting?
Well, I want to say that the branch elections are taking place all over the country, in Ghana and in the diaspora. I think back here in Ghana, it was supposed to end on the 11th of July, but there were some constituencies or branches with outstanding issues which are still being dealt with. So with the comrades out there, I want to use this opportunity to wish you all the best. But I hope it is not too late, but otherwise I want to use the opportunity to inspire a lot of young women. I know that I am not the best voice to say this, considering the fact that I have decided to contest for the position of a national women organizer. But I want to use the opportunity to encourage all women not to look at just the women organizer portfolio, but to also try out on other positions as well, like the general secretary, the chairmanship, because we have the women. The most important thing for us is to show up, and you may never know. Remember that we contribute very well within our communities. We provide a lot of support system. I talked about the social capital, of which we have it. When people are sick, when there are funerals, we are the ones that represent. And so I believe that at every point in time, when we show up, the people will also begin to recognize our efforts and endorse us for the contributions over the period. And so I want to use the opportunity that wherever women have shown up, I just write that I'm not looking down on any man, but I think that men have had so many opportunities. The time for women is now. And so whichever position women have shown up, it is just right that we support women wherever we find them, just so we'll be able to fairly represent ourselves as the larger gender in our population.
Finally, when future generations reflect on your contribution to Ghana, how would you like Honorable Betty Crosby Mensah to be remembered?
That I wish someone else will have the opportunity to rate me on this one.
It's okay to rate it.
Of course, I have always stood for the less privileged in the society. It's always my ambition and my wish to be a servant leader, to be able to serve and lead the people as well, to be able to bring about transformational changes within our society. The world is now a global stage. We are observing what is happening around the world, and we believe that yes, when we are counting among our equals, we know that Ghana is doing outstandingly well. However, when we compare to the biggest of the big, you realize that there's a long way for us to go. And so I think that the time for women to equally, and as I continue to also add my voice, to serve, to focus on bringing various voices across the globe, especially within the Ghanaian community. Let us share our views. Let us contribute in our own small way to make Ghana a better space. I continue to add I continue to represent fairly. Where I'm wrong, I try to learn from my mistakes. But most importantly, I am the NDC. And I believe whoever is watching me, be proud to be identified as a member of the NDC.
Thank you very much. It's so sad to end this conversation, but I know that we will still have you again once the bar has been lifted, and then we'll have more conversation about your intention to become the women's organizer of the National Democratic Congress. So as we come to the end of today's edition of Conversation Beyond Borders, I would like to extend my sincere appreciation to our special guest, Honorable Betty Crosby Mensah, for sharing her valuable insights and experiences with us. Honorable, thank you so much for making time to join us today. We are so grateful.
It has really been an honor and very exciting. Of course, the more questions, the in-depth of your questions has also reminded me of a few things that I thought I might have forgotten, and I appreciate your platform. I think from today onwards, I will always be on a standby to be observing and to wish yourself, your production team, wish them all the best in the work that you do.
Thank you so much. Greatly appreciated. To our viewers, thank you for watching and being part of this growing platform where ideas, leadership, and communities connect across borders. We hope today's discussion has informed and inspired you. Kindly don't forget to share and subscribe to HYT African TV on Facebook and YouTube, and join us again next Sunday at 5 o'clock p.m. UK time for another engaging conversation. I'm your host, Kiki. Until next time, keep the conversation going, stay informed, and remember that meaningful dialogue has the power to create lasting change. Goodbye, and God bless us all.
You've been gone, it's an empty home. Come on back where you really belong. You are always welcome home, welcome home. You've been kept down for much too long. Stand